I get a text from Dr. Duncan. He said, hey man, are you okay if I give your phone number to Joe Mazzulla? And I'm like, Joe Mazzulla? Boston Celtics? I get a text. Hey, Coach Nicksick, it's Joe Mazzulla, Boston Celtics. Love to come in and talk to you about some of the fight game stuff, how you corner, what you do in that minute. I walk into the office, who's sitting at my front lobby.
What's going on, y'all? Welcome to Verse Us with Eric Nicksick. He is Eric Nicksick. I am Randy Fainrich, and this is Verse Us, our first episode.
Yeah,
we're live. Man? What's up, man?
Who would have thought?
Who would have thought? Huh? Not us.
Look at us.
Look at us.
Look at us. Look at us.
Look at us. Not us. Man, it's really exciting to finally be doing this, and I know we've talked about it for a long time.
Yep.
Not only just working together, but like working on something like this. So like I'm super excited about it. I wanted to kind of start the episode off though, and give you a chance to let people know like, why did you want to do this, and why, is there a podcast and a show being started, and kind of just give your thoughts on it?
Yeah, sure. I mean, for me, I think a lot of the podcasts kind of find their niche, right? And I think over the years of cornering so many fights and being involved in so many big fights and with such great athletes, over the years you meet great people. Mm-hmm. And it's not necessarily talking about like the fight game or breaking down the fights and the X's and O's, but sometimes it's just talking story about the camps and about the experiences and about the people. And I think that's, to me, what I love so much about this sport is it's about the connections that you have with the people that you meet, and then the growth and the process. Mm-hmm. Yes, you're going to understand the wins and losses. Those are always going to be there, but it's these moments, man. And like, hence why I wanted you as my guy to be on the show with me, because you've been through a lot of these moments, right? So, man, that's kind of why I wanted to start this thing up, and I thought it'd be fun. I thought it'd be good for the fan base to really get to know me on a personal level, but moreover, like what makes us tick.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, that's awesome, and I can't wait to really dive into this with you. I want to also start real quick and kind of maybe give the fans a backstory about you and I.
Sure.
And kind of our journey, because everyone knows you in this space. Obviously, not many know me, if any know me. But I wanted to kind of start with our origin story, and I don't know if you remember. I'm sure you remember, obviously, but maybe give the fans a little bit of an insight as to how we got connected.
Well, so what year was it? You're at UNLV.
Yeah, 2012, 13, something.
I think you're a senior that year? Or?
Yeah, I was like in my junior or senior year.
Okay, so you're at UNLV. Yeah. A mutual friend of ours was one of your professors, I believe.
Yeah, Mary Hausch.
Right.
Yeah.
No, Kurt Divich.
Kurt knew Mary Hausch.
Okay.
Sorry, Mary. Yeah. Kurt.
I get a text message from a family friend, asking if I had internships. Mm-hmm. And I said, no, I never had one, but he said that he had this young kid. He's looking to get into MMA space, combat sports, was interested in doing an internship. He needs it for journalism, whatever class
that was
you
my
had.
Degree, yeah.
And I said, shit, I never had one here at the gym.
Right.
Well, let's bring him on. And then, dude, you came on like gangbusters, right? Like just super motivated and wanted to do like, hey, we wanted to do coaches' profiles. We want to do this. We want to do this. What's your Twitter like? What's your Instagram? What are you doing with TikTok? And I'm like, none of this stuff. Yeah. So like you came on right away.
There was no TikTok back then.
But But I mean, it was more YouTube.
Right.
So you kind of started us off in understanding that space. Mm-hmm. Although you were just in college, and did a great job and did a really good job. And at the time that we had you, I think made a huge difference in what our thought process was in helping us understand the social media aspect of the gym space. Yeah. And then I get a text from you, hey man, I'm applying to the UFC. Yeah. So I wrote Mike Mersch. Mike Mersch was at the UFC at the time. I said, Merrill, I don't know where your connections are with the hiring process, but I have this intern. His resume will speak for itself, but you put me down as your reference. Yeah. And you end up getting the job with the UFC. Yeah. What was your title?
Yeah, so I got hired as like a social media coordinator at the time. Yeah. And then I ended up leaving there as the senior director of social. Yeah. So it was a crazy 4 years. But yeah, that I'll never forget the internship, because that was like before. So actually, and correct me if I'm wrong, but that was at a time where XC had this rise, and then like started to kind of come back down, and like was like not, it didn't have the athletes at the top that it did in the early days of the gym,
Yeah.
right? And so we were trying to figure out ways to like get more people in the gym and,
Sure.
and highlight some of the coaches. And I remember Robert Follis was incredible. Obviously rest in peace to him. Tim Lane as well.
Yeah.
Rest in peace to him. Yourself and a bunch of others were just so welcoming and so awesome. And what I knew in the content space, I lacked in the MMA space.
Right.
And you guys were like very cool with like explaining different things to me and the way things work. And then, once I got the job at UFC, we reconnected at some fight where you were cornering someone.
Yeah.
It's been like 12 years of friendship at this point.
Yeah. I mean, dude, like I couldn't be more proud of you. There was like, I remember like seeing you on the road for the first time, and I was still busting your balls a little bit. I'm like, yo, what's up, bro?
It's
Like,
my intern.
my intern.
Yeah.
I kept calling you intern. Yeah, no, dude, I was super happy for you. And then, just seeing your growth and like, you're a single dude at the time.
Yeah.
You're living the life on the road in the UFC. And you worked your ass off for that corporation. And not only that, like you learned a skill set during that time you're there.
Definitely.
Learned a lot of good people. You got to see the world.
Yeah.
So I'm happy for those experiences that you had. But
Yeah.
and when you left there, then you got hooked up with the big guy.
Yeah. I had worked with Francis since his debut, but through the UFC. So we didn't have like that close of a relationship. And then I'll tell you the point. I don't know if you remember this. The point where I feel like the three of us clicked was Minneapolis.
Yeah.
Because that was your first like real corner with Francis against JDS.
Yep.
And Joe B was on the card because you had him too.
And Emily Whitmire.
Yeah.
Yep.
And Emily. Yep. And but the three of us, I just remember, and Markel was with Francis at that time too. And I remember all of us kind of like hanging out, just talking, and just felt right. Yeah. So when I left UFC, Francis reached out to me. We got reconnected and we started working together. Reconnected with Markel. Reconnected with you.
Yep.
Really connected with Dewey. I had known Dewey, but then really connected with Dewey.
Yep.
And then just became the five of us, and that's why
we got that shirt.
We got
baby.
this shirt, baby.
It's funny how like we all almost brought all of us together. Like I kind of knew Francis, but I knew Markel well.
Mm-hmm.
Dewey's like my bro.
Yeah.
Then I knew you, but you knew this guy. And that whole thing just kind of just meshed.
Yeah.
Like it just. I mean, that's the shirt right there, bro.
Yeah. It was awesome, man. And now we're here. And again, couldn't be happier to be doing this with you. I think it's going to be a really fun ride. And
well, you remember you wanted, this was all, I want you to do the podcast. And I hit you with I want you on this.
Yeah. I wasn't supposed to be here at all. This was supposed to be Eric's show with a either by himself or with a co-host and a guest. And then, you kind of tagged me in and
how many hours on the road we've been, hours, weeks. We served life sentences in Riyadh,
in Saudi.
We've been in the same cellmate, buddy.
We've been in a Saudi Uber together, so we can do anything in life together.
That's a whole nother story.
Yeah, that's a whole nother story. Okay, well, first we're going to transition into the first segment on this show, which is called The Week That Was, where we look back at everything that happened in the world of sports and culture. And because this is our first show, we're going to look back at the couple weeks that was.
Sure.
And we're going to kind of start all the way back earlier this month in June at the time of recording this in New Jersey.
Okay.
And so I kind of want to start there. I want you to give us a little bit of a recap of how the week was with Sean.
Sure.
We'll talk about the fight in a minute, but just the week overall, being in Jersey, and talk about that experience.
Yeah, Sean is such an easy guy to deal with on the road.
Yeah.
Or really easy guy to deal. He's not a diva. He's not a prima donna as if you know Sean or he's pretty cut and dry guy.
Yeah.
He's also not going to go out. And I say go out during fight weeks. A lot of times you maybe go to dinners or do this stuff. He just eats the PI food. He stays in his room. He stays low key, and that's his MO.
Yeah.
So during fight week, it's nice because you get to really connect with your teammates.
Yeah.
Right. You might go out and have a drink or two, go to dinner, whatever. And then now you're in, basically you're in New York. You're in Jersey City. Right across the river is where the World Trade Center is and everything else. So you have time. You make your workouts, you do everything else. So fight week is pretty chill, bro. Yeah. You hit your workouts, you set up the practices that you need. Shout out to Richie Van Houten. Richie hooked us up over the Culture Gym. Yeah. Love Richie, man.
Man, he doesn't get talked about enough. He's such a good guy. Dude, and he's a great coach.
Not only is he a great guy, he's one of the most progressive coaches that I know in the game right now. What he's doing, he doesn't get enough credit. It doesn't matter about credit.
Yeah,
it's all about where your heart's at and what you're trying to do and what you're trying to accomplish. Yeah. What he's doing he's going to be well known in this space.
Yeah.
Very soon.
Yeah.
You know, and I think he's a solid dude. But
Yeah.
you know, shout out to him and the team for letting us come in there and get our work in. Chris Curtis got a spar. My boy Johnny Eblin's in town.
Yeah.
Johnny's cornering Sean. You know, I consider Johnny my teammate. You know, we got a space for this to go be able to train. So we got work in, man.
Yeah.
So you know, and then the fight. We're fighting Paulo Costa. I mean, let's be honest. This is a lose-lose. Not a lose-lose. We have everything to lose for Sean.
What'd you call it the other day? You called it a look-ahead spot, a trap fight.
Trap fight.
Trap fight.
Yeah, it's a trap.
Yeah.
You know, in this college football space.
Yeah.
Right. It's like you either looking ahead on your schedule and forget about the team you're playing that week.
Yeah.
Or you beat the team, your big rival, or you have a big upset, and then you party a little too much, and then you forget about the team you got next week, right?
Yep.
There's that trap spot, and that's what it kind of felt like. It was like, well, we didn't get the rematch for DDP. We don't really want Paulo Costa, but we're going to fight this fight. So, you know, how do you get up for that fight?
Yeah.
Those are the ones that concern me the most, and that's where I think I really overcoach.
Yeah.
Like, yo, a lot of reminders, motherfucker. Like,
Yeah.
Paulo Costa is dangerous.
Yeah.
He looked good in a loss versus Robert Whitaker. I do not want to sleep on this guy because this guy has the capability of putting you away.
Yeah.
So let's focus up on this fight. And again, the fight went in a way where like I felt like we could have dominated a little bit more.
Yeah.
But I also understand what Sean had to lose if we got ourselves in a position where we got in trouble. Then, dude, there's no rematch versus DDP or Izzy.
Right.
Right? So I understand the way it was being fought. The reason why, the backstory, let me tell you the real backstory, is we're fighting on the East Coast. We don't check in until 9 o'clock at night, right?
Yep.
That's what time we arrived to the venue, 9 o'clock at night. So I'm laying around and I'm watching all the prelims. Mitch Raposo, great kid, comes and trains at Extreme Couture. He's on the card. I want to see his fight. My boy Tyson Chartier. So I want to see this kid fight. In my opinion, he loses the fight, maybe 29-28, maybe 30-27, but Mitch lost the fight, unfortunately.
Right.
Well, Dave Torelli.
Good old Dave.
Dave Torelli scores the fight for Mitch Raposo. And I'm like, ugh. It's kind of a tricky card or tricky scorecard you put in.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, the other two judges had it 30-27 the other way.
Right.
Which we all pretty much kind of saw it going that way, right?
Right.
But what did I do? I automatically file that name in my Rolodex going, oh, shit. So now I start to get a little bit of anxiety. I want to know who our judges are. So I start texting and asking, and then, you know, Herb Dean actually posts on his Instagram.
Yep.
What the assignments were for the night. Here's my assignments for the night. And
Whose name do you see right next to Sean?
I see Sean Strickland, I see the ref, and I see the judges. Sal Diamato, Chris Lee, Dave Torelli.
Yeah.
And I'm like, fuck, we got the wild card guy. Wild card guy.
Yeah.
I know what I'm going to get from Sal. People have heard me criticize Sal. Sal is an amazing, amazing human being. This has nothing to do with his judging. And I also think that over time, I've learned to understand the way Sal judges. So now it's not so much of this like, oh, Sal's a bad judge. It's me growing the fuck up and understanding, okay, I know what he's looking at now. Right? And Sal and I have you know, we could be as friendly as you can, coach, judge. You can't go to dinner. Right. But we have a respect level for one another. Right. So I feel comfortable knowing that Sal's going to put in a scorecard to his best of ability of knowledge and knowing the fight game. Right. Dave Torelli, I'm like, oh, shit. So people ask, like, bro, you were on Sean. Like, you were getting after him. Well, I didn't know what the hell I was going to get from Dave Torelli. Right. Let's be honest. Right? We started this podcast, to be honest, versus us. Yep. I'm freaking the fuck out. Yeah. Because I don't know what we're going to get from this judge. Yeah. What were the scorecards?
I mean, that 49-46 was egregious. Like, that was crazy.
That
was crazy. By Mr. Torelli.
By Mr. Torelli. And then gets lambasted by the promotion, by everybody else going, what the fuck? Yeah. Right? I knew the fight. We were fighting the fight, the right fight. We were winning the fight. We were winning the fight handily. But why was I panicking in the corner and yelling at this dude? Because I didn't know what we were going to get from one of these judges. Right. I just was so worried about that.
Yeah.
That's what you got out of me in that fight. That's why I was acting that way.
Yeah. But you did the right thing, obviously. Sean gets the win, gets a finishes strong in that 5th round, throwing some Liu Kang Mortal Kombat kicks.
God, dude. What an unathletic dude, huh? Wow. If you're gonna be coaching your soon-to-be kid, right, man, on who not to be showing athleticism with, it's not Sean Strickland.
That is hilarious.
Oh, bro,
professional athlete at the highest level and some of the most unathletic flying kicks.
Well, he was in a bad car or a motorcycle accident. Yeah, and almost lost his leg. Mm-hmm. Shouldn't be fighting all this stuff. So I fuck with him because that's what we do.
Of course,
right?
Of course.
If you ask Sean to do like a box jump or a frog jump or any jump whatsoever, it ain't happening.
Not his thing.
Seeing his goofy ass get up off on 2 feet and do the Mortal Kombat front kick,
the Liu Kang,
and I'm like, bro, we're laughing our ass off in the corner. It was
That's
great.
hilarious. Last thing on that, you get to meet former President Trump.
Oh, dude!
Was that your photo you took, the one Sean posted, or was it Chris Curtis?
It might have been my phone or Chris's phone. I can't remember. But Sean's like, "Give me your phone."
Yeah.
And he did a selfie with the former president, or maybe current. Who knows?
Or maybe a former and maybe future for sure. Yeah.
So dude, it was dope. So I looked over to the cage. Hunter's my boy. I love chopping it up with Hunter. And at the moment, I kind of looked over at Hunter and I was like, "Hey, I'm sorry. Like, it wasn't, to me, I just wish there was more action in that fight."
Yeah.
But again, like I said earlier, I understand why the fight went the way it did.
Right.
But I just looked at Hunter and I was like, sorry, man, one of those things. But sitting next to him was Mr. Trump, President Trump. And he looks over and he like gets my attention. He like kind of like does one of these. And I like, oh shit. I was like, hey, sir.
Yeah.
And he goes, if I'm ever in a fight, I want you in my corner. That was some awesome cornering, man. I love that. And I go, all right, man, if you need me for Secretary of Defense, I'm your guy. And he just started laughing at me. I was like, oh, well, shoot your shot. Why not?
Shoot your shot. That's crazy, man. Yeah. Not many people, whatever you feel about Trump in any sort of way, not many people get to meet the former president and leader of the free world.
Hey.
And then he knows who you are and says, hey,
remember,
I'll take you in my corner.
This dude has been at UFC 1.
Yeah.
This dude is a fight fan.
From the beginning.
Beginning. Hosting the UFCs at the Taj, right? So this isn't just him just being there to be like a celebrity front row.
Right.
This dude knows the sport, knows the fighters, understands the game.
He's a fan.
He's a fan of the sport. So think about him however you want. I don't give a shit about that.
Exactly.
I'm talking about in our space, in the MMA space, he's royalty because that dude's been sitting front row, right, since day number 1. So say whatever you want.
Right.
Who's the Italian guy that's always at all the fights? The Italian guy, like kind of bodybuilder looking dude. Whatever.
Yeah.
He's at all the fights too.
Yeah.
You see those guys, they're like they're fight fans. You're gonna see them there every freaking card.
Yes.
If they can make it, they're gonna be at the fights.
Oh, I don't know his name, but I know who you're talking about. Yeah, I know who you're talking about. But yes, there are those certain people that are there all the time.
Yeah.
After Jersey, Puna, one of the guys from Extreme Couture, fighting at 170 for the first time.
Oh, looked
like a dog.
Bro.
Looked like a dog. Talk about that process for him. I know he's not a big 185er.
Sure.
What was that process like to get him down to 170 and then obviously, the fight?
Yeah, bro, you nailed it. Not a big 85er. We ate. Fight week was us eating like shit. Dude, we would go and eat burgers, fries, whatever, all during fight week because Puna would walk.
Yeah.
He would walk or taper down and just go step on the scale. There was no, maybe put on plastics here and there, but the weight cut was not difficult.
What do you get in the cage at typically at 85?
Oh,
90, 95?
86?
Stop.
Oh, bro, he was not.
Really?
He wasn't even cutting weight.
Wow.
Yeah, if you got in the cage, usually at 85, he was probably at the highest, probably 90.
Yeah.
He didn't.
Wow.
That was because he just overate on team dinner. So Puna has, and I've said this, I'll say it again. Pound for pound, the hardest hitter I've ever held for.
Wow.
I say this publicly, and I hold for a lot of people that hit pretty fucking hard, and one of those names is on your shirt.
Yeah.
I'm saying pound for pound, one of the hardest hitters I've ever held for.
Wow.
In both hands, hits hard. So I knew the power would carry over because he didn't really cut any weight, right? So we got down to 170. We met with the PI. They did an amazing job in analysis. We sat with Charles. Charles is like, dude, you can make this weight easy. You're just going to have to actually be a professional in the off season, right? You can't eat Sickies burgers and you can't do this.
You got to stay disciplined.
Got to just stay disciplined.
Yeah.
You just got to be a pro fighter.
Yeah. Professional.
Which Puna's always been professional.
Right.
Just never had to be on that side of his career.
Right.
Bro, this kid takes it like gangbusters, man. He's in the gym 2-3 times a day. He's like, he knows his back's against the wall. He wants to make the best out of everything. And that's what you want from your athletes, is at the end of the day, you don't want to leave any crumbs behind. You hear me say this over and over and over. No crumbs. No crumbs. Because the fight game, you could do everything right, and unfortunately, you might not win the fight. That guy might have left no crumbs either. He might have been better than that night. Whatever it may be.
Right.
But you just don't want the crumbs of regret. That's what the crumbs are, right? Oh, I left a little behind. I didn't do enough of this. I could have ran that extra lap. I could have shown up a little earlier. Whatever it is, right? But when you lay your head on the pillow at night, win, lose, or draw, you know you didn't leave anything behind.
Right.
That's all I want from all my athletes. But that's all I wanted from Puna in this camp, right?
Yeah.
And, bro, he did. Not only did he do everything he needed to do, he did more.
Yeah.
To the point where, like, yo, take a break.
Yeah.
Calm down.
Yeah.
I need you to rest.
Yeah.
And he did it in the fight.
Yeah.
Like, what he did for training camp really just translated into the fight. And we told him, I said, look, bro, you are an athlete, an MMA fighter that can win this fight in all facets of the game. You've fallen in love with knocking people out because of the way the promotion pays extra, right? They favor the knockout. Everybody loves the knockout. But we're about winning and staying relevant within the space and keeping you in the big show. So I don't give a shit how you win this fight. Whatever opportunity presents itself as a coach, I will take that best advantage for us to win.
Yeah.
And this dude ends up shooting a shot on Puna. Oh, perfect. Perfect. Puna turns him, takes him down, beats him pretty good in round one. To his credit, Baeza had a nice armbar attempt, a nice leg lock attempt, which is a tough position to be in when you have a guy that hits as hard as Puna.
Right.
Because he was lacing him
Yeah.
with these punches. Round two comes out, said, hey, same verse, but a whole lot worse. Take this dude down, beat his ass,
Yeah.
and did it.
Yeah.
And then going into round three, you look over on the stool. I didn't think the kid was going to get off the stool.
Yeah.
Baeza.
Yeah.
And then Puna breaks the welterweight ground and pound, right?
Yeah.
Significant
Significant
strike.
strike,
Right? I don't
yeah.
know. Breaks some record.
He executed flawlessly. I'm surprised.
I honestly, I felt like Baeza owed that ref some money or something because that ref was mad at him.
Really?
Because he was taking a whooping.
Yeah.
I'm like, dude, stop
Yeah.
the fight. And the ref was like, no,
Yeah.
this guy's going to take an ass whooping. So, crazy.
Did you I'm surprised you just didn't get up. You know?
Just get up, bro. Just get up.
Just get up.
Yeah. Oh, man.
And then on the same card, obviously, Cody Staman, XC guy as well.
Yeah.
Didn't go his way. Just some quick thoughts on how that fight went.
Tough fight.
Yeah.
I felt like Cody had a hard time getting through the range.
Yeah.
I think the French kid did a good job of staying long and just frustrating Cody within his transitions, you know. The footing seemed weird for Cody.
Is he a Fernand guy?
No.
Lapilis?
No.
I was going to say, you're like,
No. Oh, no.
you're
Hell
going
no. I ain't
against
trying to lose
them.
to that guy.
Yeah.
But some of the footing, you know what I mean? Like Cody
Yeah.
would get into sequences and kind of
Yeah.
lose a step or two. That's not an excuse. It's just kind of what I saw from my
Right.
vantage point. So we wanted to start a couple of our routes off to the body, come back up to the head, climb up. It would have been the second, third, or fourth punch I think we needed out of Cody. One would miss, maybe two would miss, but we needed 3 and 4, and you just couldn't get those ones off.
Yeah.
Tough fight, man, because I love Cody Staman, dude. He's just a dog in the gym. One of the best teammates you're going to find. And, you just – these personal attachments you have with these fighters.
Yeah.
You love them so much. You love their family. You see what they go through on a day-to-day basis. But that's the fight game, man. You get it. The nice thing is Cody took a week off, went up to his cabin, saw him at practice on Monday.
Yeah.
That's the game, bro. Right back in the gym.
Yeah, right back. Transition into another thing that happened over the last couple of weeks, and this is not going to be an only MMA show. We're going to talk about a bunch of different things in the intersection of sports and pop culture. One of those things you have a very close relationship to, that's Joe Mazzulla and the Boston Celtics, NBA champions. First question: have you talked to him?
Yeah.
How's he doing? Obviously, he should be on cloud 9.
Yeah.
What's the conversation been like with him?
Oh, so I want to give him a space. I figured his phone was blowing up.
Sure.
Hits me up. hey, I'll be in town. Like, no, like, what'd you think? No, that.
Yeah.
Like, I'm coming to town. So I'm assuming he's coming in for the fights. So I get the text. I'm with Brad. Brad and I are hitting pads. And I send him a video, you know, because, you know, I'll back up. When we met, he comes to Extreme Couture. He wants to hang out with the boys. He wants to see some sparring, anything like that. So he automatically introduced him to Brad. So we have this relationship. So we sent him a video talking, you know, bro, so
talking
happy
shit,
for you. Talk a little shit and everything else. But he was on his way to Miami.
Yeah.
You know, we went back and forth, little text thread and everything else. But, bro, just so invested with this guy after the first time we met. So invested with the team. I've never been a basketball guy. I've never been a Celtics fan. Dude, I'm a Joe Mazzulla fan. Yeah. So when he came to the gym and the way we met, bro, I was so on board and like just watching this season. I tried to catch every game. Yeah. I would ride him all week, you know, big win, a loss or whatever. Just wanted to let him know my presence. Yeah. I was here, bro. I'm behind you. Because I get it as a coach. Sometimes you feel lonely at times. Like not a lot of people understand what you go through as a coach. Yeah. I don't care what you're coaching. Yeah. Especially at the highest level of coaching. Right? You feel like you're alone, and sometimes you just need that somebody to know, like, hey, this dude understands what I'm going through, even if it's not for advice, even if it's just for comfort. Yo, bro, I'm feeling run down, or I'm down and out. This dude's run 82-game season. Yeah. Then you get in the playoffs where you got 16 games. If you win them all, right, you need to win.
Yeah, if you go 4-0, but it could be 16 or it could be 28.
Right,
I guess
it could be a max of that. You know, right? So it's a long, drawn out season. Yeah. And all I wanted him to know is like, yo, bro, we got your back. I'm here if you need anything. You know, so
that's awesome, man. So he's coming to Vegas. You guys plan to meet? Are you going to be in town when he's here? Or?
So that's what I got to figure out. Yeah. So shoulder surgery on Monday for me. Then I fly out for Sioux Falls for my boy Kai, PFL. Roman Delize picked up a short notice versus Anthony Smith. Yep. If Joe Mazzulla is in town, this dude's going to the fights. Yeah. Right? He's a fight fan through and through. Yeah. I think that's what you saw from his team is his attitude towards NBA, his players, has an MMA flair. Yeah. Right? So if the fights are in town, this dude's going to be at the fights. So I'm hoping to be able to hook up with him. Hopefully he's in town. I know Summer League will start. Yeah. I don't know when, but I've talked to him. He's going to be in town for like a month. Yeah. He's going to train. We're going to hang out. He asked me to come up to Boston, do some stuff with the team. So, bro, this isn't like, hey, man, we're acquaintances. Like, this is my boy. Yeah. And we root for one another. Yeah. Right? That's what I think like people need to understand is like cheer for your friends. Cheer for their successes. Speak about your goals. Yeah. Speak them out loud, but speak them to your friends. Because once we understand what your goals are, bro, I'm going to check in with you and help you achieve those goals and vice versa. So having that relationship, man, has been huge for me.
Yeah. Is it – I don't want to say is it weird, but did it catch you off guard at how close you guys, I feel like, got in such a short amount of time? No. Because, like, we were texting and talking off camera, and you're showing me text of, like, this is how you talk to, like, your boy you've known for 10, 15 years. Yeah. And you guys know each other for, like, 2 minutes. Yeah. You know?
No, because I think when you meet like-minded individuals, no matter what the craft is, the demographic, like, you know, shout out to my boy Flex. We're in his studio. Yes. The first day I met Flex, boom, this is my guy. Yes. And, dude, we talk daily, weekly. Like, if we don't see each other, like, I miss you, man. You know, because I think when you get to our age, right, you've been through a lot of the bullshit and the fluff, and you understand there's go-getters and there's fucking I don't mess with this dude. Yeah. Right? And there's guys that you meet right away that you go, yep, I'm gonna be friends with this dude for the rest of my life. Yeah. And that was Joe. Met him, listened to him. So let's talk how we met, right? Yeah. I get a text from Dr. Duncan from UFC PI. He said, hey man, are you okay if I give your phone number to Joe Mazzulla? And I'm like, Joe Mazzulla? Yeah. Boston Celtics? I was like, yeah, man. Yeah. What does he want my number for? He's like, I don't know. He just asked if it was okay to reach out to you. Yeah, of course. I get a text. Hey, Coach Nicksick, it's Joe Mazzulla, Boston Celtics. I value your time. I would love to be able to spend a few minutes with you, possibly with one of my assistant coaches. Love to come in and talk to you about some of the fight game stuff, how you corner, what you do in that minute, whatever, kind of had a little bullet point thing of what I said. Coach, you tell me what day you're free. Love to have you come in. He said, no, I'm at the mercy of your time, whatever, right? Why don't you come in for a pro practice and watch some sparring, right? That's when you can lay it out and let them let them see the guys bang a little bit. So he comes, shows up to the gym. I walk in to the office. Who's sitting at my front lobby? Sam Cassell.
Oh, get out of here.
Sam Cassell is sitting in the lobby.
That's so cool.
I walk in, I'm like, so I get a text from Joe. He said, hey, my assistant coach is there right now. I'm on my way. I'm like 10 minutes behind. I was, pop in. I'm a Florida State guy.
Yeah.
Florida State guy through and through.
Yeah.
Sam Cassell's sitting right here at the front. I'm like, yo. So I started nerding out.
That's so cool.
So I end up getting to spend like 10 minutes with Sam Cassell, chopping it up with him. Oh, man. One of the assistants that Joe brought on for this new season. And it's just an honor to be able to speak with this guy, bro. Joe shows up, walk him through the back, show him the gym. We watched practice together. And then it was nice because it was sparring day.
Yeah.
So he was able to see me corner rounds, right? And that was really it. Like, I introduced him to some of the guys. And so we talked a little bit during practice. Then he said, hey, do you got any time after practice? I'd love to sit in the office and just chop it up. We sat in the office, bro. I swear, we did 2 hours.
Damn.
I mean, he was at the gym. I brought Ige over. I brought Brad over. And, dude, we just sat and talked the sport.
Yeah.
He asked all the right questions. The questions that, a coach would ask you. It really didn't have to do with, the fight game itself.
Yeah.
But it was more about understanding how to manage that corner, how to manage that minute, and understanding your team, your fighters. And now you got to think, Joe has how many guys are on an NBA roster?
It's like 15 or 12,
right?
Something like that. Yeah.
And then you got your five starters, and then you got superstars, right? You got superstars, Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown. You got these guys that want their time as well to speak or maybe say what they have to say in the huddle.
Yeah.
So it was just almost just talking to him about, hey, how do you navigate this minute? What do you say to how do you let, maybe Eddie speak in the corner? When do you let Eddie, it's a feel. It's a feel. It's reps.
Yeah.
It's reps. So all I was really doing with him in that moment was just giving him ideas. Well, if Jason wants to talk, but you need to say something first, I pull Jason aside in the off season. I say, listen, what you're saying is so valuable that I want you to get what you have to say out. But I need this 15 seconds first. Let me get this done. But I'm going to give it over to you because I want you're the leader, you're the captain, you're this, you're that, right? Or Jalen, whoever it may be.
Sure.
But I'm gonna say, I want your value to be said, or what you have to say has value to the team. I'm going to give you that opportunity. But all I ask is give me my 30 seconds without interruption.
Right.
And then it's going to go over to you.
Right.
He's like, oh, shit, never thought of that.
Yeah.
That's cool. Like, we'll do this. So, I mean, that was really it, man. That was our first experience together, was just talking coaching, man.
Yeah, which is something, by the way, you do so well. I've been in this game for a minute, not as long as you, but you are one of the, 2 or 3 coaches that are able to articulate exactly what you need to articulate in a short amount of time.
Yeah.
And when you think about an NBA game, a crunch time timeout, a 30-second timeout, a 1-minute timeout, you have to get your information out. And then again, like you said, Jalen, Jason, you're going to tell someone making $300 million a year to not talk? Like, they're going to talk. So it's like, how do I get the information I need to get out in a certain amount of time while letting the other leaders do it? You do it so well with Dewey. You do it well with Eddie, with all your guys, and vice versa. Those guys do it well too.
Yeah.
So yeah, I want to give you props on that because you do that so freaking well. I mean, you convey so much information in like a short amount of time.
Right. And it's just reps.
Yeah.
Honestly, like, how do you get good at something?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
It's just repetitions. You're gonna screw up sometimes, and even at the highest level, sometimes I'll still maybe say the wrong thing, or I'll look back and, man, I wish I would have done this a little bit better. But thankfully, in this sport, like, we have the opportunity so often now.
Yeah.
We were able to get those reps in, and again, like I was talking to Joe about, have an idea, have a way you want to attack it. And then, sometimes, bro, it's not even X's and O's. Sometimes it's just digging deep and getting the motivational side out.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's all X's and O's. Sometimes it's a flare of both. But when you understand the dynamic and who your team is and what they represent,
Mm-hmm.
bro, how many times did we see in the playoffs these guys were down and should have lost the game? And not once did you ever see panic on any one of the Boston Celtics guys, coaching staff or players.
Yeah.
Dude, these dudes were dialed in, and they were serial killers. And they went out and executed every time, even when they were down.
Mm-hmm.
That is a testament to the camaraderie and the continuity of what a team has.
Yeah.
And I got to give my boy a shout out. I got to believe that's on my man Joe.
Yeah.
Joe put that together.
Yeah. I saw him rocking the XC hat too on Pardon My Take.
He hits me up. He hits me up before the playoffs. He goes, I need more gear. How much? Let me know. I'm like, bro, I'm charging you for gear. Come on, man. So I sent him a huge box, Burn the Boats gear, Extreme Couture gear. I see him. We're out Gaethje and Poirier out in Salt Lake. We met up out there. Dude, the dude is head to toe in all my gear. This is the head coach of the Boston Celtics rocking.
Yeah.
Like, that's what I'm talking about, friendship.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? What I mean?
Yeah.
Like, you and I talk about this all the time. It doesn't cost me $1 to share your dreams on my story for Instagram.
Yeah.
It doesn't cost me $1 to share something, right?
Yeah.
I want people to succeed. I want to put it out there.
Yep.
You got a new project. I'm going to share it. You get 3.0, boom, we're going to share it. We're going to show love. We're going to do this. We're going to do that. That's what Joe's doing. He's a walking billboard sharing love in a position where he can wear whatever the hell he wants.
Yep.
But he cares about the people, his friends, and what our successes look like as well.
Yeah. Crazy, man. Crazy that you're aligned with a guy who runs, the most popular franchise
Who would have thought?
in the history of basketball.
Look at us.
Look at us.
Look at us.
Who would have thought?
We got to change the name to look at us.
To look at
Not
us.
versus
Yeah, that's
us.
what we should do.
You
Actually, real quick, one more NBA thing I want to just real quick touch on, and if you don't have any thoughts, that's fine. JJ Redick was just named the head coach of the Lakers.
Mm-hmm.
JJ played basketball.
Yep.
But first-time head coach
Sure.
of the Los Angeles Lakers. And maybe this will be a question for Joe Mazzulla if he ever comes on the podcast. Huh?
Plug.
First-time head coach, arguably the greatest player in the history of the game, is the guy on that team.
Sure.
You, I feel like, can relate to this because you never fought, and then you're thrust into dealing with like these super alpha mentalities.
Sure.
If you were to give him any advice or you have any thoughts on handling a situation like that, what would it be?
Listen.
Yeah.
Listen. Just don't say a whole lot right now.
Mm-hmm.
Just listen. Like, when I say listen with your eyes, listen with your ears, listen with your feels.
Yeah.
Right? Like, get your finger on the pulse.
Yeah.
And try to understand where you fit in the best to make that team succeed.
Yeah.
Okay, case in point, Francis Ngannou was going to be a champion in my mind no matter what.
Mm-hmm.
That's just how I feel.
Yeah.
Do I feel like I helped him win? Some places, yes, maybe not. When I first sat down and met with Francis, I listened.
Mm-hmm.
What do you need me for? How can I help assist you win?
Right.
And he spoke, and I listened, and I found ways to go, okay, here's where I feel like I can be of a service to you for us to be successful.
Yeah.
So maybe when you come in, you don't need this big rah-rah speech.
Yeah.
Because you're not going to win LeBron over with that. How many fucking speeches do you think this guy's heard?
Yeah.
He doesn't need a motivational speech.
Right. And he's been doing it for 21 years. Like he doesn't need
I'm just saying in this particular situation.
Right.
You don't have a bunch of rookies, right? It's not a young Oklahoma City.
Right.
Right. This is veteran dudes who have rings.
Right.
Who've done this shit.
Yeah.
Listen.
Mm-hmm.
Sit down with LeBron, go to dinner. How can I best assist and serve to make this all work?
Yeah.
Well, you might say, oh, well, that makes you a yes man. Bro, it's all about winning.
Mm-hmm.
And this dude's LeBron James, arguably one of the best to ever do it, right? You can argue that.
Yeah.
And you want to put the right people in the right positions to be successful to get these.
Mm-hmm.
I don't give a shit about anything else.
Yep.
How do you win?
Yep.
Bottom line. That's what I tell them.
Man, that gets me fired up.
Yeah, let's go.
I get excited. All right, now let's transition into what will become everyone's favorite segment, a segment for the fans, by the fans. It's time for Burning Questions, where each week we get questions submitted across the Versa social media, Eric's social media, and we answer fan questions. Okay, let's start. Question number 1 from at MMA fan 122. With your schedule being burner account. With your schedule being so crazy, how do you balance work and life?
It's daily. It's just it's a daily, right? Like,
Yeah.
you wake up in the morning. Of course, you have your schedule. You understand what you have to do. You always want to have a little bit of a non-negotiable time for yourself within that part of your day.
Mm-hmm.
If it's a workout, whatever makes you just, right? Find it somewhere within your schedule, because you're gonna need that almost little bit of disconnect where you can put your phone on silent.
Yeah.
And that for me is this gym right here, Dragon's Lair.
Yeah.
You know, I'm very thankful for Flex. But I look, I get to come to his gym, which is one of the best gyms in the world.
Mm-hmm.
And I get to come put my headphones on. And I get to come work out for 45 minutes.
Yeah.
Probably max.
Yeah.
And here's what I love about it is when I see Flex, he ain't even fucking talking to me, because
Mm-hmm.
he knows, that dude's got 45
your
minutes
time.
to get it in.
Yeah.
And I'm doing circuit training. I'm boom, 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 and I'm out the door.
Yeah.
Right? So my schedule is always just kind of circulated around what like Dan Ige needs for the day on a Monday. Okay, I got Dan at this time. Okay, I have a little opening here. I have a gap here. And then I'm going to do this. And then what does the family need, of course, right? So you're balancing and juggling in that. All the while, you wish you can schedule things out super far in advance, but we don't have an off season.
Yeah.
There is no off season for us, bro. And that's the hardest part. So even today, speaking with Annie, it's like, hey, July 4th is open.
Yeah.
I'm booking this time to go to San Diego with the kids.
Yeah.
Hope you can be there.
Yeah.
Right? Those things get hard, so you got to make sure you find the time to balance family, your work.
Yeah.
Because we get so lost in this stuff, bro.
I know.
We get so like consumed by the adrenaline. Can't wait for the next fight.
The next hit.
But then you start looking at your family, and bro, I was bringing McKenna on my mats when she was a baby, right, in a carrier. She's driving, right? Like Dennis Davis was in the hospital room, first one to meet McKenna.
Yeah.
She's driving, 16 years old. That's how fast this goes by,
Yeah.
And pretty soon she's gonna be out college and run. Now it's all her own life.
Right.
So the balance to me, man, is very important. I remember I'll wrap this up, but this is important because the first time that I got to meet the great Teddy Atlas, the very first time that I got to meet him, the first thing he says to me had nothing to do with fighting. He goes, "How many fighters are you coaching right now?" I said, "I don't know, maybe 30. And he goes, "You got to cut that in half, maybe even more." He goes, "That's too much. You got to spend more time with your family." I never even met the dude. And he started in on me about,
Right.
because you know why? He's walked in these shoes.
Yeah.
He's been there.
Yeah.
He starts telling me about his son, who's a scout for the Raiders, how he missed so much time with his kids, all this and all this. But he gives me this example. Like Teddy, I mean, we all know Teddy Atlas.
Sure.
But for us to have a minute to actually have an intimate conversation with this man really changed a lot of my perspective on not only the fight game, but the family game, right? He goes, "I want you to think about each facet of your life as a cup of water or as a cup." And he said, and then you get a 24-hour cup of water. And each one of these cups is commanding water. They all want water. And they all want homeostasis. They all want equal amount. Maybe they want more.
Yeah.
He goes, "I want you to think about how much water you're pouring in each of those cups each day. And at the end of the day, I want you to look at that cup and think how much water it got.
Right.
And which one's empty, bone dry." He goes, "I bet you the family one's bone dry." Oh, man. And I'm like, damn. Nice to meet you.
Yeah. Jesus
but
Christ.
Coach to coach, he understood. He got it right away.
Yeah.
And man, what was that? 4 years ago? I don't know how long ago it was when I met him. But I mean, dude, he's been a mentor.
Wow.
Yeah.
Crazy. Good advice. All right, next one from at BurningMan_15. Can you explain your mantra, "burn the boats," for the fans? I hear you say it or use it on social media, but what does it mean, and how do you implement it in the gym?
Oh, so burn the boats came from my Uncle David. He was pretty much like my father figure. My real dad passed away when I was very young. My uncle kind of stepped into that role. He actually introduced my mom and dad. So my mom and dad now, and he was just a father figure for me, but just tough.
Yeah.
Tough, right? Like your uncle's supposed to be that kind of tough, gritty dude, Yeah. Taught me how to flip people off, and saying these, shit to women or whatever.
Right.
Like, dude, my uncle's a wild card.
Yeah.
Let's just put it like that. He was our strength and conditioning coach, and he was our linebackers coach.
Okay.
So you can imagine.
Yes.
Right. So, we had a game where it was Long Beach Poly. We were playing the number 2 ranked team in the country, and he had this like speech for a small group of us. And he said, talked about Hernan Cortez. He talked about how the Spanish conquistadors, right?
Conquistador, I think that's right.
And a small group of these guys came in to defeat the Aztec Empire army. But he talked about how when they showed up, they were outnumbered and they were supposed to lose. They were supposed to die, essentially. Yeah. So he said, burn the boats. And that mantra kind of was what we talked about, was all we can do is either win or die.
Right.
And we won the game. We beat the number 2 ranked team in the country. So my uncle passed away 14 years ago. I was in the MMA space. And I kind of thought of how can I keep his memory alive through what I get to do.
Yeah. And
I remembered that story, and I started using that more and more with Brad, talking about like, yo, bro, we leave nothing behind. This and that. We're gonna burn the boats. That's how it stuck, and that's what you hear it more and more now with other people. There's podcasts, burn the boat. There's this, burn the ships. There's this, there's that. I love it because people understand what it means and what it's supposed to mean, but it means something different for everybody.
Right.
That's what it means for me. This is Uncle Dave.
That's awesome, man. It's something that I always hear you say, always.
Yeah.
And I feel like everyone in the gym embodies it. Because that's like the feeling you get when you're in there.
You know what I knew it really meant something was when Randy started saying it.
Really?
Randy's like, yo, burn the boats, baby.
Yeah.
And I'm like, hell yeah. The old man's talking. I say old man, but that's my big bro.
Yeah.
But when the boss man talks about it and he embodies that, the guy that my mentor, somebody I look up to immensely, when he bought into that, burn the boats. I'm like, hell yeah, awesome. Felt
that's
good.
Fucking awesome, dude. Okay, last one here. This is a good one. From Marvelous MMA _
That's Brad Tavares.
It's probably
I know,
Brad.
Marv. Come on.
If you could take 5 MMA fighters to form MMA's Avengers, who would they be and why?
Outside the gym or just in general?
Overall. Do you know what we should do? Should we draft 5 each, and then we'll see who has a stronger 5?
Well, we
like
just
snake draft? Like you just have a number 1 overall pick, then I'll pick, and then you pick, and then I pick, and then you pick.
All right, let's do it.
You want to go first?
You go first. I'll let you go first.
And my number 1 overal pick is Francis Ngannou.
God damn it.
Of course, bro. What are you talking about? That's going to be like our Hulk / Captain Africa, I guess.
Right.
Yeah, Francis, obviously.
God damn it. Well, now I got to take John Jones.
Oh, man. Okay.
This sucks.
Yeah.
I want to start over.
Okay. My second pick.
No, I get second pick.
Oh, yeah, it's a snake. Go ahead.
Snake
Sorry.
draft, bud.
My bad.
All right. So I got John. No, dude. Okay. Give me.
Yeah, no.
Oh, I feel I can get him later on in the draft, though. Now I'm thinking strategic shit. I might be able to pick him up later.
Yeah, okay.
All right, give me.
This is active fighters, by the way. We're not doing like no Anderson, no GSP.
Man.
We gotta stay active.
Was John Jones active?
That's a very good point. That's a very good point. Yeah.
All right.
I guess he's still on the roster.
All right. Okay.
So.
You're still active.
Okay.
Number 2, give me my man Danny Ige.
Oh, that's a good one. Okay. Number 2 for me. I'm just gonna start thinking of people I worked with in the past. Give me Izzy. My number 2 pick.
Right away you're gonna go Izzy.
Yeah. Give me Izzy. It's my guy.
Well, give me
Shout
Kamaru.
out Izzy.
Oh, he's your pick. It's Snake.
Yeah.
Snake. Okay. Now you take Kamaru. God damn it.
Okay, hold on.
I gave it away.
You could have him. I'll go. My 3rd pick would be Leon.
Leon?
I'll take Leon Edwards.
Dude,
My
I'm
3rd
telling
pick.
Kamaru right now.
I know.
I'm going to
Dude,
FaceTime him.
Sorry, bro.
You need to put the... Oh,
Sorry,
bro. How are you going to fuck that up?
I know.
Now
I know you're going to take Kamaru. So
yeah,
I got to take Leon.
All right.
You got 4th pick.
All right. So, active fighters. Alex Bejeda.
Oh, fuck. That's a good one. God damn Oh fuck! I should have had Izzy and Alex on my team.
Dummy.
Yeah, that was stupid. I mean, I love Leon, but that was stupid.
I'm liking my roster right now.
I like your roster too, actually, with that 4th pick. And you got him late. Okay, who am I? Ooh, speed and agility and power. Give me Tom Aspinall. 4th round pick.
Oh, man. Okay, wait, now you got the last one.
And my 5th round pick.
Oh, Aspinall. He's a stud, dude.
And my 5th round pick for just sheer, like, oh, man, I'm between a couple, actually. I think I'm going to go with my heart over my head because this guy's from close to where I'm from. Give me Dustin Poirier. Yeah, give me Dustin, baby.
All right.
That's Southern.
So what do I got? I got the last pick here?
You got the last pick.
Who's the Tom Brady last pick?
Yeah.
Ooh. All right. I'm gonna go with upside and possible crazy potential of I'm gonna go Topuria. Ilya Topuria.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Yeah.
Okay, so I have Francis, Leon, Izzy, Aspinall, and Poirier. And you had...
You got a roster, bro.
Yeah, and you had...
I got John,
Yep.
Ige,
Yep.
Topuria.
Yep.
I got
Kamaru.
and then Pereira. Alex
Pereira.
Pereira.
Vic, who's winning? 5v5. Use the mic.
That's a good question.
Our producer.
It's having the Hulk is kind of like a big part of it. You
I know.
But not only the Hulk, but like you have Dustin Poirier, who's like not gonna give up.
Yes.
He's the diamond. You know what I mean?
Yes. My God.
I mean, dude, like honestly, with Francis and Aspinall on the same team, you're fucking a lot of people up, bro.
Well, with John Jones can take at least one of them.
He ain't taking
No,
Francis.
he ain't taking Francis.
He ain't taking Francis.
He ain't taking Francis.
One of them. Aspinall, you probably
But see, what I got to do now is I got to put Ige on top of Poirier on Topuria.
Yes.
and make a combined
Yes.
fighter to fight.
Totem pole fighter.
Totem pole fighter. And then we got Pereira on top of that. You know what I mean? Like to
geez.
even get to fight.
Yes.
Dude, we're getting smoked. Let's be honest, bro. Yeah, I'm getting smoked, bro.
Yes,
You know?
sir. Yes,
Hey, I'll
sir.
tell you what. Ige is going to be tenacious and on your ass, right?
Ige is your Poirier, I think.
Ige's
He's
my
not
Poirier.
giving up.
No,
at
he ain't
all.
giving up, bro.
At all.
Kid's a stud.
Yeah, that was fun. I like that. Okay, now let's transition into today's main topic. It'll be the bulk of the show, the main thing we discuss, and it's something we've already touched on, is MMA judging and scoring.
Ooh.
Okay? And we touched on it a little bit when we talked about Strickland and Costa
Sure.
and the 49-46 and Dave Torelli's scorecard. So I want to kind of back up because you had mentioned something about Sal D'Amato. And you've been very public with your thoughts on how he had judged some really crappy fights and had some really questionable scorecards. But then you guys talked. Can you kind of just take us through that conversation you guys had, like when you actually met up and when you talked?
Well, here's the unfortunate part about our platform. I say unfortunate part because there is no review board. There's no complaint committee, right? There's no Better Business Bureau.
Yeah.
Right?
Right.
Who do we get to complain to when there's an egregious call?
Yeah.
All we have is social media.
Mm-hmm.
All we have, but what we do have is a platform.
And to try to make them accountable because nobody's there to hold them accountable. So, yeah.
We don't get to pick up the phone and just call Jeff Mullen or whoever.
Right.
And I would like to put a complaint in, or can you do this, and that?
Yeah.
Right? There's no Yelp review.
Yeah.
So that's an unfortunate side of what we have to do to make noise.
Yeah.
And scream about what's going on with the judging.
Mm-hmm.
So a couple years ago, Jeff Mullen and the Nevada State Athletic Commission did a great job. They got a Zoom call together, and they put some of the top coaches in the world on a Zoom meeting with damn near 30 judges, a bunch of refs, the who's who and what's what, right, on the Zoom call.
Yep.
To go over some of this stuff and to be able to talk. And, man, I like that we did that. It was super progressive. There were some wild cards in there, like some judges that were all right, whatever. But at least it brought us kind of together.
Yeah.
And the thing for me as a coach, I'll kind of go through my process.
Yeah.
I get on the apron or I get on the fight starts. And this is a lot of times when you very rarely do you get to know who judges your fight ahead of time.
Mm-hmm.
But when I get to the venue, sometimes I'll look around and on some of the placards, they'll have the assignments.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll know, okay, I got so-and-so and so-and-so and so-and-so. Why does that matter? Well, when you think about it anecdotally, I've seen these guys judge, or I watch so many fights that I kind of learn to understand. It's like AI. It's like I kind of learn and understand what they're looking for or what they might favor or how they kind of their flavor of judging is, right?
Mm-hmm.
Which sucks is because it's not supposed to be that way. They're supposed to judge by the letter of the law, right? The 3 Ds. 4D, I don't know what it is.
Yeah,
I should probably know that.
What is it? Damage,
Duration, and dominance.
Dominance, yeah.
3. I can't count that high. But it's supposed to have a little bit of formality on how they do it.
Yeah.
Now it's all subjective.
Yeah.
So the fight starts, or the fight, or they're announcing the fighters. The first thing I look at, all right, I got boom, boom, boom.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of know a little bit of how one judges and whatever else. And I might even call an audible in certain ways. I'll give you an example so you guys understand. Roma Delidze is fighting Trevin Giles.
Mm-hmm.
Adelaide Bird is one of our judges.
Yeah.
Adelaide Bird has been a judge who historically understands more about the boxing side of
I was
things.
going to say, she's an old school boxing judge.
There you go.
Yeah.
And this is no knock on Miss Bird.
Right.
This is just me speaking to what I gather from her style of judging.
Right.
Roman is a grappler.
Mm-hmm.
Roman is grappling a lot of transitions with Trevin Giles.
Mm-hmm.
And Miss Bird is not going to favor that in her flair of judging.
Mm-hmm.
So why am I adamant Roman gets out of these leg lock positions and strikes more or more damage or more ground and pound or do more with what he needs to do to win this fight, because I understand what one of the judges is going to be looking at.
Right.
So that's kind of through my process when I see a certain judge and I know, okay, Mike Bell's going to look for damage. Sal D'Amato's looking for this or that, right? So go ahead.
I was going to say, you have a story about Adelaide Bird, right?
Yeah.
She came to the gym at one point or something like that. Can you
Sure.
explain?
Man, so in some of those rants I get on with Twitter, or I'll say like, I've always opened my doors.
Yeah.
I've always opened my doors for refs and judges to get more reps.
Yeah.
What do we do every day in training, bro?
Repetition.
Rep. To do what? To get better.
Yep.
To try to perfect our craft.
Mm-hmm.
When do judges judge fights?
Only when there's fight nights.
Weird.
There are no
The one
practice
job
rounds.
you don't have to get reps,
Yeah.
their reps are live.
Yep.
Their reps are live. Do you think special forces guys are just going out when it only matters when it's life or death?
Yeah.
Or do you think they're training constantly to get better? So I've always put it out there.
Yeah.
Hey, please come by the gym. Come watch sparring. Even if you don't want to speak to anybody, but you just want to watch more sparring rounds to hone your craft.
Right.
Mark Smith, Adelaide Bird.
Mm.
The only two to take me up on that offer.
Really?
Yep.
And Mark Smith refs. He doesn't judge.
Rep comes in and refs.
Yeah. I've actually
Reps.
seen him in there. I've never seen Adelaide in there, but I've seen Mark Smith.
And very, very
Reffing.
professional about it, right?
Super professional.
Doesn't want to talk to anybody.
to the point where
No cameras.
No. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
But to the point where I've seen athletes be like, bro, we're sparring.
We're
like
just
it's
sparring.
not. But he
Relax.
takes it so serious. And he's also like, isn't he like a pilot also?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
He's wired like just
He's
completely
very
differently.
serious.
But I've seen that with
But
with
he
him.
takes his job.
Yes.
And
very,
everything that Mark
very
Smith
seriously.
does, he
Yeah.
takes it very seriously.
100%.
How can you fault that?
Yeah.
So Miss Bird is there. Mallory, Miss Bird's daughter, she's an athletic commissioner. She takes her job very seriously. Every time I see Mallory, she's always asking about when can they come back or when.
Right.
My door is always open.
That's awesome.
And it was so cool to see her sit and watch sparring and then ask questions.
Yeah.
Hey, what do you think about this position here?
Right.
What do you think about this and this and that? You cannot fault anybody trying to learn or grow or be better in their craft.
100%.
And that's what I appreciate about. So when you talk about judging, how does it get better?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I think that's first and foremost. Is try to get reps. How do you get better? maybe show up at the days when it's not actually live.
Mm-hmm.
That when you come to sparring. I think more clarity.
Yeah.
I think putting these judges in a position to where they have to answer some questions under some scrutiny.
Yeah.
And it doesn't need to be like why did you score this? Help me understand, and then maybe I can understand your vantage point.
Right.
I've had these conversations with Sal D'Amato. I've had these conversations with Mike Bell.
Mm-hmm.
And it's never been like, you're a piece of shit.
Right.
And when I hear what they have to say, what happens? I usually, I didn't think of it like that.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck, I'm a dick. Now I understand.
Mm-hmm.
But you're all human, and we're all just
Right.
trying to grow from those experiences. And that to me, I mean, honestly, is like why Sal and I get along now.
Yeah.
He's like, we're all human. I think Sal's a good person.
Yeah.
Maybe you made a bad call, or maybe, hey, bro, the pole was blocking me. I didn't get to see it.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. It's human error.
Yeah. I want to ask how you approach that problem with your athletes. Because in the fights, we've all heard you on, during a fight, on screen, in the corner, hey, optics.
Yeah.
How do you coach that in the gym so that your fighter's not hearing that for the very first time in that moment? Because if that's the first time they're ever hearing it, chances are they're probably not going to
Right.
understand what you're saying.
Right.
How do you coach that in the gym? Is that something you guys talk about in the gym? Is it
Break it down.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely break it down. And what do you mean by optics, right? And like, I got that from James Krause. Krause and I spent a lot of time on the road together. I think he's, it's unfortunate that he's not in the coaching space anymore.
Yeah.
But I think he's was one of the most gifted MMA coaches I've ever been around.
Yeah.
But he's also made tactical errors in the corner and sometimes in his cornering, but he's also made just amazing calls in the corner too.
Right.
We've all been there,
Right.
But it was during COVID where him and I got to spend a lot of time together, and we talked about the details, the finer details in the coaching, in what you say in the corner and how it's important to politic to judges.
Mm-hmm.
So when we had the COVID era, remember, no fans. It's quiet. But if I'm panicking in the corner as a coach and I'm saying certain things that are like indicators, who's going to hear it? The judges.
Right.
The judges are going to hear it. Not only the judges are going to hear it, but the opposite corner is going to hear it. And then the opponent's going to hear it. So this kind of turned into like an act.
Yeah.
Where like you have to be on point with it. So fortunate for us that we thought about this ahead before we went to Jacksonville.
Right.
So we started when we started to do all of our sparring, I would just turn the music off in the gym. Remember, the gym was closed.
Yeah.
You were in there.
Yeah.
Right? There was no one in the room. So I'd turn the music off and we would just spar and we would coach.
Yeah.
And what I would do was I would tell our number 2 in the corner, you have a very important job. And your job is to only politic to these judges.
Yeah.
I want anything that comes out of your mouth is positive and we're winning this fight. Whatever.
Yeah.
So there's verbal optics and then there's visual optics, which you're seeing, right? So the optics to me, and this isn't to be dismissive towards judges, but let's just say that they're kindergartners, right? And you're going to have kids soon. Your kid brings home that art, right? That piece of art, and it's just full of what?
It's probably just shit.
But it's glitter and it's glue and it's feathers and it's just all over the paper.
Yeah.
That to me sometimes is you're catering to the kindergartner.
Right.
They don't know what the fuck they're looking at. They want to see as much sequence and shit all over they can because it just, and those to me sometimes are just the optics. You're catering to a kindergartner, which is sometimes the judge.
Yeah.
They don't know what they're looking at.
Yeah.
So how does it look impressive to them? How does it look cool? How can you just win over their eyes in that particular moment? We also need to win over their ears when it's quiet, when it's the apex or it's COVID, right? We won a lot of split decisions during COVID, bro.
Yeah.
We won a lot of split decisions.
Yeah.
And shit, I had Chris Lee, believing that Paul Felder beat RDA.
I was just gonna bring that up.
Paul Felder didn't beat RDA.
Yeah.
But where did Chris Lee sit? You sat right next to me.
Yeah.
Duke Rufus is Paul's head coach.
Right.
Duke Rufus coached Paul. I coached Chris Lee.
Yes.
We were able to make him feel like and believe like through optics and verbal optics.
Yeah.
That we won that fight.
Yeah. What is maybe, I mean, there's no solution right now, but what do you think are some steps that we could take to mitigate some of the bad scoring? Because, NBA, NFL, there's human error as well. They don't change the outcomes of things, but at least you get an apology. Like, oh, hey, the refs fucked up at the end of this game, or, whatever. At least there's some apology or accountability. Sure. We have none of that. So what do you think?
You watch the Olympics?
Yeah.
Do you see how gymnastics are scored?
Yeah.
How are they scored?
Like publicly, you mean? Like where you can see your score?
But they take however many judges.
Yeah.
I don't know. Look it up if you need. I don't know.
Yeah.
Let's just say, for example, I might be wrong. Let's say there's 9 judges. And the 2 most descending scores are just thrown out. Completely thrown out.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, what were you even watching? And that goes away. So let's say on a night there's 12 fights. And let's say we have 8 judges.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? I'm sorry, 8 judges, you're going to work 10 fights.
Yeah.
Or however many, right? And you can interchange them, and maybe what you do is you do 5 judges. Those 5 judges will all judge the fights, and the 2 that are just descending, throw them out. Right? They're just so off or wild or whatever that you can just throw those two out, and then you go with the ones that are actually make sense.
Yeah, I never thought about that.
Right? I mean,
so you have 5 judging five a time judging each fight, but like 8 total, and then you just rotate them.
Yeah,
around fights.
So let's use this as an example. Let's say the Sean Strickland fight, okay, and you have 4 judges that gave it 50-45 Sean Strickland, and then you have somebody named Dave Torelli that goes, hey, 49-48 to Paul whatever it was.
Even worse.
Can't do math.
Yeah.
And everybody just goes, yeah, dude, your one just gets thrown out. That doesn't even make sense. And you want to, and legit, you want to be the guy not getting his scorecard thrown out because that shows you're incompetent.
That's actually a great idea.
Thank you.
I really do believe that.
Thank you.
Okay, well, not much we could do about judging and scoring for the time being, but
we just complain about it. Right.
But what we can always do is march forward, and that's what we will do. Any upcoming events you got going on? Obviously, you have a million things going on always. Let the people know kind of what your schedule's like upcoming.
Back home, fresh off of PFL. Team did great. 5-1 on the night.
Yeah.
I mean, we had 3 guys that were double-digit underdogs that won.
Yeah.
The one loss, Solomon Renfro, looked amazing. We lost in kind of like the last minute of round 3.
Right.
So tough because could have easily been a 6-0 night for the team.
Yep.
My Upper Mexico guys did amazing. Draco, Brian Zurcher, Sadabusi, late minute replacement, comes out, does his job, wins. Alex Polizzi beat Shoeface. Solomon dropped his on against a former Bellator champ. Looked amazing in the fight. So, it's a fight game. Yeah. And then Mads Burnell went out and beat Clay Collard in a tough fight.
Yeah.
Very tough fight. Like, Clay's a dog, bro.
He was an underdog too, right?
Yeah, he's a
big
like
underdog.
plus 260.
Yeah.
I don't know how I know that, but I know that,
Yeah, you're a Vegas.
I'm a Vegas guy.
Yeah.
You look at the
Born
lines.
and raised. You know what it
You
is.
check the lines.
Yeah, you know what it is.
So shout out to the team. Team did amazing. All the coaches. Dennis, these guys go up to Salt Lake 2.5, 3 weeks ahead to get that altitude training.
Yeah.
There's a difference. Sadabu and Alex Polizzi went out early. So these guys are committed to their craft, and they're committed to get their wins. And look, all 3 of them won their fights. So, couldn't be happier for them.
Awesome. So you have Kai coming up?
Yep. Kai, I'll fly out Wednesday for Kai.
Right.
And then I'll fly back. That's that Saturday, short notice, Roman Dolidze versus Anthony Smith. Man.
Oh, forgot about that.
Just legit kind of fell in our laps.
Yeah. Because you didn't have anyone on that card before.
No one on that card. But, that's the fight game, man. You got to stay ready and be ready to go. And that phone rings. These opportunities are a lot of times how you see people like Diego Lopez and Alex Pajeda. they get thrusted in this level of superstardom because they're able to pick up the phone and say, I can take that fight. You know? Sean Strickland.
Yeah.
Sean's done it. We fought was it Imanov on 4 days notice.
Yeah.
Right? You're in. Sean's in.
Yeah.
So stay training.
Then Ige, July 20th, right?
Brad, no, Arosa in Denver.
The 13th.
The 13th.
Got it.
And then Brad and Ige on the 20th.
Yep.
Then fly to Manchester for Manel Kopp, who, again, Manel is just a guy I've been telling forever, you need a belt around your waist, bro.
Yeah, he's good, man.
You're that good.
He's
right?
been one of them, like, unfortunate on both sides. His opponent has some unfortunate things.
Yeah.
He has some unfortunate things.
Yep.
Seems like he just can't get into a rhythm.
Sure.
But, man, when he performs, he's unbelievable.
He's one of the most talented fighters I've ever been around as far as movement and vision and understanding. Man, we have such a great synergy. Like I get goosebumps when I get to watch this guy fight, and and then he gets on me for not talking enough to him in the rounds because he wants to hear what I have to say. It's like playing a video game, dude. This guy is unbelievable.
Wow.
Can strike out of both stances. The things he sets up in practice. I mean, I watch him go with some of the best guys in the world. And do great against them all. And there's no reason why Manel Kopp cannot be a world champion. It's just, yes, there's little things that we need to do better. We all need to do better. He had some bad breaks. I don't give a shit about any of that stuff. If you're meant to be a world champion, you're going to find a fucking way to do it. Right?
Yeah, to me, it's the two best flyweights fighting on that card. Him
100%.
And his opponent, Makayev. Yeah. Those two guys are incredible.
100%.
And then, that wraps up your July, huh?
Yeah, that's it. That's all of July.
Yeah, that's the whole
So
month.
I actually got a little 4th of July. Annie said, we're going to San Diego 4th of July. So get a little time with the family. And remember, dude, like school starts August 12th here.
Yeah.
So like I have, my July is gone.
Yeah.
Essentially with fights.
Yeah.
And then they have like another week or something. And then they're right back to school again.
Yeah.
So July 4th is again that non-negotiable. The wife goes, yo, we need a husband and we need a dad.
Yeah.
You're coming on a trip with us. I get to be with some family friends and spend some time with the wife and kids, and much deserved. I need to be there with them. So
definitely goes back to that work-life balance and what Teddy Atlas told you.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And what about you, bro? Because you got a baby on the way.
I got a baby on the way. That's over.
My boy knock him out. What'd I say?
Yeah.
What did I say, guys? This was easy money. I was all over this. As advertised.
Yeah. Whitaker's good, man. Baby on the way. No travel, thankfully.
Yep.
Nothing on the horizon in terms of traveling. Not doing too much in the MMA space until the big guy calls.
Yeah.
Until the big guy comes back.
Just like all of us, right?
Just like all of us, exactly.
It's kind of fun now. It's like we're mercenaries.
Yes.
Right? We're just go off to our normal
Straight
day
up.
lives and doing our thing, but then you get that fucking burner
signal.
phone.
Yeah.
And it's like, the big guy's calling. We
I was
gotta
just
go.
thinking about that the other day because I was talking to Markel and I was like, we're pretty much out of like the fight game.
Yeah.
Until the big guy calls.
So the big guy
and then
calls.
It's like
brings us all back in.
Puts our
Bring the
backpacks
team back
on
in,
and
bro.
Dive right back in.
That's
So
the best.
yeah, man, it's gonna be a busy summer for both of us.
Yep.
But we are just getting started with the pod.
Yeah.
So super excited about that. That does it for today's episode of Verse Us with Eric Nicksick. The first episode, the first of many. Subscribe to Verse Us anywhere you get your podcast, Apple, Spotify, Google Play, all that good stuff, as well as subscribe on YouTube. We'll have episodes every Tuesday come out. And a big shout out to Flex Lewis, Dragon's Lair. Thank you guys for hosting us, letting us use your space. Really one of the best places in Vegas to come, and one of the best people from what you say. I never met Flex, but one of the best people from.
We're going to have him on the pod. He was out of town, so he'll definitely be on the pod.
Definitely. Make sure you follow Verse Us on social media at VSUSPod on all social media. Also, don't forget to comment below on our YouTube page or on any of our socials on topics you want us to discuss, on people you want us to have on, any of that good stuff. Thank you guys for joining us. Again, episode 1. We'll be back very soon, and we'll see y'all next time.